In this critical drop gaming news small episode, TMNT Cowabunga Collection has finally have a release date. Fans are being outraged by the Last of Us Remake that's going to be on the PS5, and my review of Live Alive,
and more. But before we start this video, please support us by like, comment, and subscribe to this channel.
So to start this off, in good news, TMNT Cowabunga Collection has finally got a release date. The trailer has recently been dropped, and the people who are from the 80s and the 90s are so happy right now that because it will not be released in December 31st, it will be released next month, August 30th. But at the same time, your wallets will be crying, ladies and gentlemen, because not only TMNT Cowabunga Collection will be released on August 30th, but the day after, if you pre-order the physical copy of this game, it will be also released. TMNT Shredder's Revenge, August 31st. If you order regular edition, whether if it's a regular edition, whether if it's a special edition with the free pizza, or you want the bigger edition, which is showing on the screen before you. So, but overall, rejoice, ladies and gentlemen. This is happy news for all TMNT fans because this game is coming out sooner than later. So everybody, I would recommend pre-order this game immediately because you never know if they'll be out of stock. So go on ahead and let's enjoy these games. And not only that, fans are completely 100% outraged. We've seen leaks of The Last of Us Remake that's been not even a decade old yet. And don't get me wrong, the first Last of Us game was amazing. I fully agree that it should win Game of the Year when it came out at that time. But The Last of Us 2, I fully disagree. And you guys are going to hit me on this. I said Hades or Ghost of Tsushima should have won, and my vote was on Hades. But the fact they gave it to Last of Us 2, I call BS on that. But anyway, back to the video. Fans are completely outraged on The Last of Us Remake, and I can't say I blame them because of the fact that fans all around the world saying that this is basically a cash grab, and Naughty Dog is basically saying this was rebuilt from the ground up, and fans everywhere are saying this is definitely not true at all. Well, I agree with people saying that this is not worth the full price, specifically those who bought the previous versions of it, and the old ones still look pretty good, no lie. Still look pretty good, no lie. Till this day, I fully support you on that whatsoever, because I felt that even though GN Invasion is not here right now, he said that he's not really much of a fan of remakes. I felt this is not necessary. For the Last of Us Remake, it's not necessary because this game hasn't even been a decade old yet. For me personally, the only way the game will have to be remade if like back then, like let's say for example the original Resident Evil game for the PlayStation, look how it was back then, and now look at when the GameCube, when the remake came out, fans all over the world loved it. That would be a good example. And Resident Evil 4, and speaking of Resident Evil 4 getting a remake, fans loved it. But The Last of Us, recently, it came out, last time I remember, it came out with an enhanced version on the PS4, and now they're going to do a remake, which is now fans all over are saying this is just now officially a cash grab. And even other sites saying that it looks better than the original, but Is it really worth it? A lot of fans will say no, because it's missing multiplayer mode now, ladies and gentlemen. So is it really worth the $70 right now? Most people, I guarantee you, most people will buy this game straight up. People will buy this game because it is The Last of Us and they are fans of this series, which I understand. I understand that, but the fact that it's missing some of the most important content of the game, which is the online. I played the online and I actually had fun playing this online game. It was spectacular and through its ups and downs and stuff like that, but I enjoy this online play. I'm not sure why they getting rid of the best part besides the story, the best part of the whole game, which is the multiplayer mode. I don't understand why, but we'll just see what happens. But I'm gonna just say this as well. I guarantee you, because the release date, from what I understand, is September 2nd of this year. I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, if The Last of Us Remake wins Game of the Year, there will be millions of gamers who play games like Elden Ring, who've been waiting for games like Bayonetta 3, who's waiting for Overwatch 2, God of War, possibly Xenoblade Chronicles, Pokemon, Arceus, Saints Row, list goes on. I guarantee you, if The Last of Us Remake ends up in a Game of the Year for 2022, fans all around the world will not be happy at all. And I'm just being straight up honest right now. And Naughty Dog said that it's being remade from the ground up, and I am currently watching this. I'm currently watching this right now, and it does not look like it's being remade from the ground up. I'm like, visually, graphic wise, yeah. I would say it's enhanced, but the gameplay mechanic wise, not so much. So I don't know what their definition is for rebuilding from the ground up. That would be like saying from rebuilding from the ground up, like from Crash Bandicoot. Look how it turned out, and then the trilogy came out fully remake. That would be one story. Or if the Resident Evil remake, that would be another thing. But this does not look like it's been from the ground up. So Naughty Dog, I don't know what you guys are talking about here, but that's just me saying what I gotta say. But that's just insane. And I'm gonna just say this: not everybody wants this game remade. Maybe like a few more years down the road. Maybe let's say a PlayStation 6 come out, then they're gonna ask for a remake. Like a few more years down the road, then we go get a remake. But like this right now, not so much. I feel like it's too soon for a remake, and the fact that it took out this big heavy hitter, which is multiplayer mode, and still asks for $70, I feel like it's not really worth it. Let me know what you guys think about it, and give me your opinions on why I almost say Last of Us 2, I apologize. On what The Last of Us Part 1 looks like gameplay wise and visually, and see in your opinion if it is a cash grab or not, or anything like that. But I feel like it's a cash grab. Fans all over the world are not too happy about it. And even and I've seen some tweets, and let's just say it ain't good. It ain't a good look for Naughty Dog right now. And also, it has been confirmed from San Diego Comic-Con, according to Warner Brothers, they have been confirmed that Joker will not be making an appearance in the Gotham Knights game. Which is not surprising because
without Batman, crime has no punchline.
Since Batman is now gone, there's really no point in him being in the game anyway. Because that also Jim Gordon is now gone, so most likely the Joker either retired from crime or he's probably doing something else. Live Alive is a JRPG and it's very unique, and plus it's also way ahead of its time when it was released in Japan in 1994. And the sad news, ladies and gentlemen, is that we never get the chance to get this experience. But the good news is though, Square Enix decided that it's time to remake this game and release it in 2022, 28 years later, exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. Hopefully it comes for the PlayStation, when the Xbox in the future, maybe not, who knows. But is this game worth the hype? Let's find out. What makes Live Alive unique, just like the other JRPGs that I have played, from Xenoblade, The Last Story, list goes on, is that instead of building a party of characters around the single main character like other RPGs does, it doesn't. It splits into 8 different scenarios. Just like Octopath Traveler, it splits into different scenarios, just like another game that I just mentioned recently. And they are so different from each other that they have little to do with each other at all. From the beginning at first. In this game, you get to play 8 different scenarios, as I said before, and you'll play through features from characters from different time periods, from the prehistoric time to the way down to the future timeline. Depending on which character, each character is also different, so it's up to you on who you choose. I'm not gonna spoil it further, so you guys are gonna have to figure it out for yourself. You can pick a character to go. You can pick any. But the good thing about it, you can pick any character to go to the final chapter, and the rest of the cast are scattered across the area. This allows you to customize your party with your characters, and the final chapter is filled with so many extra dungeons and so many new equipment, so you can prepare to take down the final boss. And to me, this is where this battle system shines, because players gain access to all the characters all at once. And I felt that this was the best moment of this game. I kind of wish they kind of brought this out earlier, but you can't always get what you want. But as I said about the game mechanics, this game, Live Alive, did an excellent job of presenting different mechanics in each character and chapter to sort of give you a mix of the gameplay. Sort of mix up the gameplay and shows you how each character operates and see how it stands out. For one character, he competes in a global tournament to become the world's strongest fighter. One is in a prehistoric timeline, and one is in a futuristic timeline. As I said, this character named Masaru, if I said his name wrong, I apologize. He competes in a world tournament to become a powerful fighter, and his gameplay is like a virtual fighter is like similar to Virtual Fighter, and he can select any opponent he wants, and the mechanics play exactly like that, which is pretty cool, which is really cool. As I said, from the beginning of this game, you get to select any character from the menu screen. Once that story, now the good news is that don't worry, you won't go to the final chapter in this game when you pick that one character. When that character is done, then you can go back to the menu screen and pick another character, which is just basically like Octopath Traveler. You go back and pick another character, you go back to pick another character, and then also you can switch chapters anytime you want, which is pretty cool as well. Which I can't lie, that got me a little bit happy about that. And not only that, as I said before, each and every scenario is a bit different, but the only downside, like the story feels like a bit lacking for one of the characters. I'm not gonna spoil who, but let's just say it's like some of these characters, it could use some work. The same for the voice acting. Voice acting could use a little bit of work, but I understand what they're going through. But that's how it goes, I guess. However, this game, this remake is totally well done, and it is well worth the wait for people who really wanted to play this game. I won't go, like I said, I won't go to the, I won't spoil nothing. You guys gonna have to play this game for yourself because I'm not the spoiler type. But let's just say, as I said, the final chapter is basically the best part of this game, and you will find out why. Another downside towards this game is that the difficulty spikes are all over the place, and I kind of wish they normalize it much, not like going all over the place, but that's just my opinion. But overall, this game is fun. If you're a JRPG fan, this game is for you, ladies and gentlemen. This game will be for you. It is fun. It has visually, it is very good. 2D visuals. The soundtrack is basic. The reason why I'm giving this, I was giving this a 4 out of 5, but the soundtrack made this game, and same as the gameplay, they made it spectacular for me. The story could have been a bit better, but overall the combat is addictive with this unique play style. 28 years later was well worth the wait. The music is incredible and it's faithful to the original, and visually it is amazing. As I said before, the voice acting is a bit of a hit and miss, and some of the aspects and some vague aspects, particularly towards the end, is kind of vague, but like I said, the last chapters are like the best part of this game to me, and that's just how it is. Look, overall, I would say I would recommend this game, but if you're gonna pick between Octopath Traveler and this, I would definitely pick Octopath Traveler because Octopath Traveler gets a 5 out of 5 in my book, while this one gets a bit of a lower score than that. But I'm not gonna give it the score that I mentioned before. This game is really fun. This game is really great, and I would totally recommend getting this game. Hopefully it will come out on the PlayStation and Microsoft one day, so that way everybody else can play it. And that's basically it. Live Alive gets 4.5 stars out of 5.